What's up, my reseller friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina. I thrift to resell on eBay and Mercari. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about feedback. As a seller, when should we be leaving our buyers feedback? And also, do I think it's appropriate for us to reach out to our buyers and ask them to leave us feedback if they haven't already done so? Everything that I'm going to talk about is pretty much just my opinion. I know that my opinions could be different from yours or other resellers. I really don't think there's no right or wrong answer, but I'm just going to be telling you what I believe to be the best thing, just based off of my experience as a seller and a buyer on eBay. I have been buying on eBay since as long as I can remember, basically since eBay became a thing. And I have been selling for the last 3.5 years. So everything that I'm going to say is just based off of my own personal experience. Do I think it's important to leave buyers feedback? Yes, absolutely. And the funny thing is I kind of wrote out my answer as to why I believe it's important. And then I went on eBay and saw what they wrote, and it was almost identical to what I had written out. So I thought that was kind of funny, and it just kind of confirmed what I was already feeling. So I'm just going to read to you straight from eBay why they think that sellers should be leaving feedback. Leaving feedback is a great way to say thank you to buyers, and it encourages them to leave feedback for you. It's as simple as that. Buyers have options on who they can buy from, and they chose to buy from you, and they have given you their money. So that's why I think it's just the right thing to do. I don't see why anyone would disagree with that, right? We should just always be leaving our buyers feedback and making sure that they know that we appreciate that they gave us their business. So when do I leave feedback for my buyers? Do I do it at the beginning or the end of the transaction? The answer to that is right away. I do it right at the beginning of the transaction. As soon as the buyer has paid, I have it set up on eBay where they will automatically send the buyer positive feedback on my behalf. So I searched on eBay to find the link to set that up. And upon doing that, I saw that they're going to be changing it a little bit. So in the description, I'm going to leave 2 links. So depending on when you're watching this video, hopefully at least one of these links should work. A lot of buyers don't want to do it this way. And it's just a decision that they made that they feel is best for their business. However, the reason why I've decided to do this is because I sell a lot of items every single day. I'm shipping out anywhere between 8 to 12 items a day. And I already have a lot that I'm thinking about. I already have a whole schedule planned out for myself every single day on what I'm going to be doing to grow my business. And guess what? Leaving feedback for buyers is not on that list. And I don't want to add anything else to that list to do because I want to maximize my time and use it for things that I feel are more important. Now, if you are a new buyer or you're just a really small store and you don't sell a lot, I can see where you might just want to go in yourself and just leave feedback as needed. But if you are selling a lot of things, or if you're planning to be selling a lot of things, I think it's so important to come up with ways to save time for yourself. So a lot of sellers do not want to leave positive feedback because they're worried that maybe that particular buyer may end up opening a return or giving them problems, and they don't want them to be able to have that positive feedback score on their account. Well, the argument I have against that is, does it really matter? If you're comparing it to saving time, me personally, and I know that this is really hard to do, but for me personally, I like to try to make decisions for my business based on what is professional and not necessarily based off of my feelings. For me, I'm shipping out hundreds of items a month. I'm not going to be concerned about that one transaction that I wish I didn't leave them positive feedback for. That's just not on my radar. So on a side note, if you are considering taking selling on eBay very seriously, and this is something you want to do as a part-time or full-time job, But one thing that I would recommend is really using the platform to buy items. When you are also a buyer on eBay, it gives you a better idea for the platform as a whole and not just one-sided. So it kind of helps you to figure out what it is that you like that other sellers do and things that other sellers do that you don't like, so that you can contribute to the platform and be a great seller. As a buyer myself, I would say when it comes to getting feedback, it's about 50-50. It seems like half of the time they'll automatically leave me feedback, and it seems like the other 50% of the time, they wait until I leave them feedback and then they'll leave me feedback. It's pretty much down the middle, in my opinion. It just depends on how you want to run your business, I guess, and what things are important to you to micromanage and, focus on. But I will tell you this, something that I have learned from being a buyer that I carry with me into my selling is that there are a lot of really crappy sellers out there. Now, I'm always hearing other eBay sellers complaining that eBay always favors the buyer. And I'm one that I have complained about that before in the past. If you've watched my videos, you'll know a lot of very unfair things I feel have come out of selling on eBay. But I will tell you this, as a buyer, I have gotten some really, really shitty sellers that have done some shitty things. So I understand why eBay does the things that they do. So just to give you a few examples, I have purchased something from someone that arrived damaged. And when I contacted the seller, they pretty much told me, oh, wow, I didn't ship it that way. And there's been another time where I got an item that it was a very expensive designer purse, and the buyer shipped it in one of those priority mail boxes, but they just threw the purse inside the box, didn't put any sort of bubble wrap or protection, nothing, just the purse in the box. And the type of material that this purse was made out of, if it bends, it will stay bent. Like, it's not flexible. So she shipped it that way. The box came, it was smashed. The purse was smashed. When I contacted the seller about it, she pretty much told me, oh, wow, you should be lucky you got it for the price you got it on, because after I sold it to you, I got people messaging me, asking me to ship it to them instead, and that they would pay her more. And she's all, but I decided to still ship it to you anyway, so you should be grateful. I'm not joking, guys. She literally said that to me. I've gotten people who have put in a tracking number, but yet the tracking number, nothing ever ended up happening. It just stayed in that the label was created, but it was never scanned. And then when I reached out to the seller, they just ghosted me and never responded to any of my messages. And I had to open up a case with eBay and wait for the case to get resolved. And it's just, I've had a lot of crappy experiences buying on eBay. So I want to just encourage you that next time you get frustrated with eBay, it's not really eBay's fault. It's the fault of the other sellers out there that are ruining it for everybody else. So that trickles into my next question, which is, when should the buyer leave you positive feedback? And the answer to that is whenever they're ready to do it. They are absolutely not required to leave you any feedback if they don't feel like it. It's either they're lazy and don't want to, or two, they're not really happy with the order. Maybe they're not necessarily unhappy with you as a seller, but maybe they're unhappy with the item. It just wasn't what they expected. And they don't feel like going through a return. They're kind of disappointed. They don't want to leave you feedback, but they're just gonna let it be. So recently I bought this t-shirt. Seller shipped it in one of those really cute little floral pad mailers. But when I opened it, the t-shirt smelled like the Goodwill bins, like hardcore smelled like it. Really, at this point, I don't really care about your fancy packaging when you're sending me something that stinks. So I washed it, the smell came out, And then I was happy with the product, but I was disappointed that it came like that. So I did not leave them feedback because I wasn't fully happy, but yet I wasn't mad enough to leave them negative feedback. But if that particular seller would have reached out to me and asked me to leave them feedback, they may not have been happy with what I would have left them. Honestly, I wouldn't leave them negative feedback. But that's because I'm a seller and I have compassion for that. But other people that aren't sellers, they don't really have that same compassion. So if they're disappointed in the item for whatever reason, you don't want to go messing with it and opening a can of worms. My opinion is to just leave well enough alone. The thing I don't mind is when I do buy something on eBay and the seller leaves a nice little note thanking me, reminding me to leave them positive feedback if I'm happy with my order, blah, blah, blah. Those don't bother me. I think notes are nice, but the note isn't what's going to make me go on eBay and leave them feedback. What will make me want to leave them feedback is if they ship the item fast, if they took really good care in shipping the item, if the item came as described and it looks even better than it did in the pictures. I will go out of my way to let that seller know that I'm really happy by leaving them positive feedback. So that's kind of the direction that I'm taking my business. Is I'm not asking people to leave me feedback because I want all my positive feedback on my account to be very organic. But getting back to the question, is it okay to ask the buyer to leave feedback? And the answer to that is absolutely. If that's something you want to do and you feel like is best for your business, you should definitely do it. So I always love to hear how other resellers are running their business. So let me know in the comments what your feedback practices are. Please take a moment to like this video. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing. My channel's all about selling on eBay and Mercari. I give lots of tips and tricks. I tell you my advice on things. I help teach you how to be a better seller. And then also I have a lot of what sold and haul videos. So I would love for you to come along and join me on this journey. Never forget, when you thrift upon a star, your dreams come true. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.